everybody, and our monthly I Ching forecast for the month of August 2026. Looking back to July, we had Hexagram 42, increase, rapid acceleration in energy and flow and activity, leading to grab our paddle on our kayak and paddle like crazy. Take the opportunity of the rushing and the accelerating of opportunity to grow, to lean into it, to expand, to give everything we've got to the opportunity of just reaching out and increasing our circumference, our world, our light, and really taking it up and working with it. A couple of changing lines that brought some challenges for us to pay attention to. And then hexagram 8 holding together as the outcome hexagram, the second relating flow or second theme for July that we are working with. Understanding the concept of who we are grouped with, what creates weakness in the chain. We are all hooked up to each other. When we're trying to do something, we're interdependent. But we're only as strong as the weakest link. And so we were thinking about our groups, who we connected with, what's the contribution they're bringing to us, what is our contribution to the group, how can we strengthen the group, how can we augment the weak areas and work together with a single-minded purpose. Working in groups and for groups, a key theme. Did anything come up for you in July that helped you work with your groups, your engagements and commitments to others, to the network, and of course that rapid increase in energy? I just felt the whole month, my cheeks were flapping, okay, in the frantic pace of the month. So much got done, so much happened, so much flowed, lots of stuff coming at us to pay attention to. And I hope that in some way, working with the I Ching in July allowed you to just find your center in the middle of that rapid acceleration, to find your anchor, find that piece of rope that's binding you to others and to your purpose, and just reconnect and recenter yourself on what's really important. And if we did that together in July, that is a win. Now we are into August. What is the month asking us to pay attention to more than anything else? Each of us have our lives, have our own flows of change. We have our own things we're dealing with. What we're talking about here is a binding principle, something that we are all going through, a macro idea, right, of some bigger process we're all plugged into that we can learn from and we can build development and move forward through. Our first hexagram for this month is hexagram 32, duration or endurance. This is the tortoise and not the hare. Okay, so when we work with this hexagram, what we're learning to understand and appreciate is what makes something go the long distance. Whether it's a marriage or any kind of relationship, it's a business, it's a team, it's a concept, it's a lifestyle choice. What are the things that make them continue to endure and persevere? What makes you keep on showing up every day? What is that driving force in you that just keeps showing up? This hexagram challenges us that in the month of August, we need to bring the stabilizing energy of our nature to our world. I once read a wonderful thing that says there are two people in the world. Great simplification. Stabilizers, people who ground energy, focus things, practicalize, if that's a word, and stabilize the relationships around them. And you have escalators. Wow! Okay. So when we're working and engaging with others, we want to be stabilizers. We don't want to escalate the drama, okay, and amp up, buffeting against another person's energy. And you've seen that, maybe it's you, but you've certainly seen two people where they just feed off each other and the energy goes up, it doesn't stabilize and come down to ground. So we are stabilizers in August. We are stabilizers for others. We are stabilizers for ourselves. We are ballast. We endure. We have that energy of a tug, all right? Not the energy of a speedboat. And what we are learning to do is how to run an excellent marathon. It requires training and commitment and practicing and repeating and learning and redoing over a long period of time. Wherever we are feeling like we want to just get that, short, quick win on something, this hexagram comes and goes, oh no, that's not going to work. That's not going to survive. That might give you 5 minutes of fame, 5 minutes of happiness, 5 minutes of abundance, but that is not set to last. What we have to learn how to do is be boring, stabilize. So maybe this will be a boring month, which after last month would be very welcome. Boring, stable, enduring, persevering, stable energy. Okay, when people know that you can be relied on because you're stable and you react mostly in the way that is expected for your character and the way that you have been reacting, it creates safety and a sense of peace with the people around you. When the people around you have no idea how you're going to react to every moment, okay, that's called being an escalator, not the one that goes up, right? Escalator, going up in mood and uncertainty, right? We create a lot of distress in the people around us. Now, sometimes we have to go up to the 5th floor, right? Because there's something important we need to talk about and deal with. But it's when people around us don't know which way we're going to go in any moment, too much stress. And the responsibility lies with you, if you're that person, to stabilize your energy. Okay. So we are persevering, we are being determined, we're being persistent. This is about bringing it every day, right? Not just on Mondays and Wednesdays, every day. Every day you bring it, you bring it, you bring it. And you develop the muscle to go the long distance, to persevere and keep on going. This is the type of energy we are working with. And I would suspect that for some, perhaps it's for you, that there is a lesson here that keep on focusing on the bigger long-term picture. What is the long-term marriage, the long-term project, the long-term goal that this current moment is supporting? Okay, if we keep the idea that we're on a journey from here to some long distant place, and every day we're taking a few steps forward towards that goal, that is the right mindset to be with in August. September might be a totally different thing, and that's okay. But in August, we're being focused and diligent and determined and persevering, and we are seeing the bigger picture, and we're recognizing we have to do things now that support that bigger picture. We can't wait for the future. Every day, we incrementally accelerate our picture because we keep on showing up with the habits and the rituals, making your bed, brushing your teeth, going for some exercise, eating healthily. It's all those little things that we keep on showing up for every day that pay off hugely down the road, personally, professionally, in your family. Okay, 2 changing lines this month in the 3rd and the 5th position. On the monthlies, I like sharing a little timeline with you to give you an idea of what that might look like, so you can anticipate, work with, but don't rely on. Use your own life, use your own experiences. But work on the first changing line, taking us up to around about the 10th of August. And then the second changing line starting to come in and taking us on a journey from the 10th of August up to the 20th of August. And then we start moving fully into the outcome hexagram towards the end of August. Right, in the 3rd position, we have to bring stabilization, right? The symbol of the cube, the square, the stabilization to 4 sides, okay? Structure to our character. And the reason we have to do this is that we are at risk, particularly in the first 10 days of the month, of getting caught up in drama, caught up in what the outside world is doing, and letting ourselves being tossed around and vacillating in what we're trying to do because this one says that and that one says that, and I don't know what to do and what should I say, and getting caught up in the inability, not because the world is coming at us and we are struggling to deal with this onslaught of the world pushing stuff onto us because we are not stable. We haven't stabilized a part of our emotional life, our thinking life, our spiritual life. We are too easily buffeted around by what is going on. And it's not the external world that's at fault. It's our fault for not being stable. Okay, work with the symbol of the cube, right? The square, in essence, the number 4, the idea of a square, and then take that into the 3D, take that into a cube. The cube is a wonderful symbol to put us back into the square, right? Into the earth, into the 4, into the stable energy. So wherever you feel yourself going, woo, uncertain and flying off, okay, go back into the cube. Put yourself in your mind's eye back into that cube, back into a concrete structure of stable energy. That's what we have to learn, particularly the first 10 days. We cannot blame the outside world. We have to blame ourselves for not being stable enough to just deal with whatever's coming at us. Okay. Then in position 5, 5 is a nice stable position. And this is the opportunity to unlock doors, okay, and open up wonderful energy. Tap into the blessings of the long-term value because we've done something important. We have not just taken the word determination, all right, absolute willpower, dogged determination, okay, the masculine form of determination. We haven't gone so far into that we are just like bulls seeing the red flying cloak, okay. We have found a way to balance that determination with gentleness, okay, with the female principle, okay. That is how we approach the next phase of August leading up to the 20th, okay. We find a way of connecting to our determination, our will to make our way and put one foot in front of the other without it becoming aggressive, obsessive, and in excess. Gentle, kind determination. You think about that female energy that you might see in a movie, for example, on the farm. And the matriarch of the farm is very all-knowing and calm. And even if everyone loses their minds around her, she's like, this family, we're going to keep on moving forward. We're going to keep on finding a way of getting through these problems. And every day we can, but there's a way that she brings that energy to the story. That's very calm, very grounded, very cube, totally in her cube zone. All right. We are going to get through this, and we do this by applying our minds to it and being determined, but being gentle and kind to ourselves and to the people around us. That is how we master this Hexagram 32 this month. That then, of course, gives us a second relating outcome hexagram that we have to work through as part of the flow, culminating and getting stronger, most likely towards the end of the month. Hexagram 47, exhaustion. This hexagram, the structure says it all. On the top we have lake, the lake trigram, and on the bottom we have the water trigram. What has happened visually is you have the lake, which had water in it, and now the water table has dropped. It's sinking, all right? And what happens is the water pools away and out and down out of the lake. And we are left with a dried out lake bed. We are facing the idea of feeling like dried out husks. Okay. So this hexagram speaks to an environment, a situation, an experience of the energy just being gone. The energy can be our physical energy, emotional energy, it can be financial substance, it can be at the end of our resources. The thing that you've been working for is not yet here. You've exhausted all your energy, you've used up all your time, perhaps you're just flat, okay? It's cut off, obstructed, flattened, just kaput, okay? So when we work with this hexagram, all right, how do we deal with this energy? How do we deal with this issue? We accept it. We accept that this is just the way it is, all right? Time will change, okay? It's not personal. We don't have to get into, why me? Okay, we don't have to do that. Because the moment we do that, we lose this hexagram. This hexagram says no matter what the challenges are, no matter how difficult it might be, no matter how tired you are, think of that farming wife on the prairies. Okay. Cheerful. Okay. Okay. Smile and wave. Breathe. Okay, we will get through this. It's okay. Smile and wave. All right, so we might find that we all experience what exhaustion means differently. It might even just be not being understood or heard by others, like just feeling just on a different planet, okay, from the people who you are trying to engage with. All right. It might be financial, okay, but you know what? When the water drops down, the finances might, the cash in the bank might. Time changes, the rains come back, the water will come back. There's something around this hexagram that says be at peace. Do what you have to look after yourself, but be at peace with the cycle of the time. Smile and wave. Okay, so we can do that. Oh, I saw that hexagram and I thought, no. And of course, what we learn out of this hexagram is that sometimes we just need to rest, recuperate, and let the energy come back. All right? Remember that idea with hexagram 32 duration, right? We don't want dogged, male, determined focus. All right, we're going to force ourselves to keep going. We are being determined and gentle. Gentle with ourselves, gentle with others. Kindness. And so perhaps some of us this month are needing to accept that we need some rest. Perhaps, sometimes that flu comes along, a head cold, and it lays you down, all right? And you realize, actually, if this hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't have come to a stop. I wouldn't have done the work to look after myself. So when we put these two ideas together, very interesting, because I like seeing them. The one flows to the outcome, and the outcome flows back. If we want to avoid exhaustion on an issue, in our lives, in our teams, financially, emotionally, mentally, whatever it might be, we have to learn how to endure. We have to be marathon runners, not sprinters, okay, not short bursts, no baton relays, okay. We are marathon runners going the long distance. And if we want to avoid the exhaustion, we need to learn how to pace ourselves and be persistent with kindness to ourselves and others, with gentleness to ourselves and others. If we pull the two ideas together, exhaustion comes when we don't have the legs for the long haul, where our mind is perhaps too caught up in the short-term rewards or the short-term ideas or the immediate worries and stresses. When we do that, we just deplete our energy. We get depleted, fatigued, and finished. Right, flattened. And then something like a head cold comes along and takes us out to force us to pay attention to the fact that we are missing a trick. We have forgotten how to get up and bring your energy to every day, to sustain your energy, to do whatever you need to do, to be able to sustain and cubify your focus. That is what August is bringing, the gift it is bringing to us. Thank you so much for being here with me. If this was valuable to you, as always, a thumbs up, a like would be awesome. And if you are new to the channel, please do go and subscribe, hit the bell, hit the follow button, and I look forward to connecting with you very soon for our first weekly forecast for August 2026.